You don't have to agree with us to be friends with us. Anchor of the week.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Anchor of the Week, where you don't have to agree with us to be friends with us.
Amen.
I know. Amen. Please don't agree with us, Sadie says.
I'm saying amen to your phrase. I mean, you can, or you don't have to. Either way, you're welcome here.
Yeah, you know who else is welcome here?
Drum roll.
Objectified.
Okay, I was like, are we doing their
Are we
podcast
doing names
name?
or
Or I was like, oh, we didn't practice that.
Full government name.
Full government name.
Full passport, yeah. So if you guys can see, if you're watching this, we got Evan and we have Josiah from Objectified podcast.
Woo-woo!
The Objectified podcast?
Woo-woo!
Or Objectified? Have you ever thought this hard about your podcast name?
No. What is it on the graphic? Just whatever it is on the graphic.
Jetson, the graphic
I think
fades
it's-
them.
Yeah, it's
The
not.
Objectified.
It's
The
not.
It's
Objectified.
also the Anchor of the Week, not the Anchor of the
That's
Week, because
true.
that's weird.
But we also refer
true.
to it as just objectified. So
Yeah,
it's both.
Okay.
it's
Both
just
work.
whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, first,
So
For
it's
tax
just
purposes,
subjective.
it's the.
Oh, for tax purposes.
Because we've got a lot of income from that podcast.
Oh, I can imagine. I'm just
Yeah.
raking that in.
Yeah.
Similar to us, for sure.
Mm.
But yes, if you guys are already noticing that you've seen Josiah before, he's our non-expert friend. Not gonna lie, that TikTok did quite well. I'm not
don't get him
What
on the
is an
topic of
expert?
experts. I was like, don't get him on the topic of experts. I've had this conversation too many times.
There's a lot of people in Egypt that think they're experts right now. And
And this is why they're on the podcast.
Wait, did you say a lot of people in Egypt?
yeah.
That's exactly what he said.
Okay, and then we have Evan.
He's talking about archaeology. He's referring
Context.
to
Context is
pyramids
key.
and history.
And then we have Evan,
Hello.
the second half of Objectified.
Yeah.
Amazing. Do you guys want to just give a little intro to your podcast of what it's about? Why is it called Objectified?
Yeah, I'm curious.
We needed a name.
Oh my gosh. This is exactly how this episode's going to go, and we knew this. Like,
No.
We knew this
No,
going into it.
no. There's
Well, I think, yeah, it was just like, oh, that's a good name. People are going to click it because they're going to be like, oh.
Yeah.
it's more of an ironic name
Because
than
I think
anything.
it's hilarious personally because there's like two variations of the word objectified that people could
Yes.
assume when they click on it, and I
Yeah.
think that's what's so funny about
Yeah.
it. Because when you first told me, I was like, oh, okay, oh no, I get it, but it's also like almost a play on words.
It's a lot of what we're interested in, and we try to be as objective as possible.
But it's mostly subjective.
Yeah. In
Welcome to our podcast, Subjectified.
yeah. Well, but it's like all of the topics are almost entirely down to how you want to individually like perceive it and take in the information and I guess like how it affects your life, because it's like history, it's world events, it's like nutrition or science or just like things like that, which do have a lot of facts, but then it's also like, okay, how are you gonna like what's the word? Not translate the facts, but how are you going to interpret?
Yeah.
That's the word.
And yeah, I know both of you guys are just people who just both seem to know a lot of information about things. And it's like sometimes you don't even present an opinion, you just present an interesting fact.
Yeah.
And it's just like it already makes you question a bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
So like you like it's always getting me thinking about different stuff.
Yeah, so it's what we try to hit is just things that make people wonder. Like fun things about history that you shouldn't be offended by, and are just to make you think, because I don't think we question things enough.
Speaking of
That was
not
the
questioning
perfect
things
segue.
enough. So as I was thinking about having you guys on, I feel like you guys just present information a lot that makes me ask a lot of questions, and it doesn't even have to be like this hot take or this like, I don't know, like trying to antagonize or hero, like make anyone a hero, make anyone a villain. Sometimes you just present information that almost like sometimes like offends what I've been told sometimes. And I'm just like, that's really interesting. And it gets me to like always ask the question. It's like, are there questions like we're not asking enough? And like, if I say that, are there any things that like stick to your like to the top of your brain already? Like, what kind of questions do you feel like people aren't asking? Because you always like, I don't know. I feel like you always like.
I mean, the classic one is on like a more general note, like not referring to anything in particular, is like the almost, I guess it's like a societal or cultural frowning upon of questioning anything that is commonly accepted as maybe not even a fact, but just as normal. And I think a lot of people are scared to even ask questions because a lot of people don't want to come across as an idiot, and asking questions can make you look stupid, especially if you're asking questions that maybe on the surface seem really obvious, but once you start digging, it starts to get a lot more complex.
That's really interesting too, because I also feel like if I'm not super like sure on my opinion, then I don't want you to even ask simple questions to me, because then I'd feel like an idiot if I can't answer them as well. So I can see how it actually works like both ways.
And like how we'll all settle for a commonly accepted truth, so none of us can feel like idiots. So we can just like kind of feel confident in our conversation.
Well, and when you think about it, most people aren't even, one, educated enough in X topic, and also two, aren't even, I don't know if creative is the right word, but people are scared to have discussions, because discussions are also how you show very quickly whether you're an idiot or not, to put it like, in one way, where it's like, because a discussion will very quickly show everyone in the discussion what you know and what you don't know.
Yeah.
And if no one knows anything on the topic, then it's just going to stay really surface level, and you're not actually going to talk about anything that's worth talking about.
It also makes you like stay with, I don't know, like, I feel like we talked about this on the podcast before, actually, about like not wanting to look dumb, so you don't bring it up. But like, if you don't bring it up, then people already assume that you like think how everyone else is thinking. And that is all, I think, goes along with the same lines of like not wanting to look like an idiot, because you're like, okay, if no one knows that I don't know, then they'll just assume that I am with the mass majority, instead of allowing yourself to, I don't know, seem like an idiot to then learn and then build your own opinion or understanding around
it's that like
topic.
slippery slope of falling into tribalism that humans like to do all the time.
Let's unpack that for a hot second.
Tribalism. I feel like I heard this term only recently on another podcast I was listening to about a world event that happened that I'm not going to bring up. But like this sense of how when something big happens, you have to be on either side. Like you have to pick a side.
Yeah.
You know?
Where do you align?
Which
tribe do you belong to?
Exactly. And then if you don't, then you're like exiled. You know what I mean? From that tribe or even from the other one, because you're, I don't know. But it's a weird thing to me. I don't understand why. Like it's a sense of belonging, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah.
Survival too, right? Like,
100%. It's also like, I think it's been so much more accentuated as well in the last couple decades because of politics.
Yeah.
Where politics, I think, has made it anything. It's more like created a mindset for people in other things that aren't politics, but it's like you have to have a side, and it has to be one of two. Like when you look at politics, people who are like center or who are, they don't, they agree with the right, they agree with the left, but they're mostly center, and they can, flip flop. Like those are some of the people that are almost hated the most, because it's like, oh, you're a fence sitter, you're not willing to choose a side.
Yeah.
But then when you look at the sides, especially like modern day, the last even less than 10 years, it's like the two sides are so extreme that to pick a side is to also betray like even your own beliefs, because like no single person is ever going to actually believe and agree with 100% of one side, because if you do, then I would argue you're just agreeing for the sake of agreeing, and you don't actually know what you believe.
Well, there's also, I know people who are like, well, one's like the lesser of two evils. Like I hear people say that a lot, which I think is like also a cop-out answer.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, like, yeah. Just a phrase I've heard. I wanted to throw in there. I'm actually curious.
I just wants to call people out. That's fine.
Yeah. Those of you who say, I'm kidding. That definitely was
There's
me,
a
not
list.
gonna lie, at a certain point in my life. I'm curious. I don't want to like completely change the direction of the conversation. But because I feel like I've had so many conversations with both of you, for those of you who don't know, Evan and I work together Mondays at Think, our church cafe. And sometimes we'll come in dead silent. Like sometimes we don't say anything. It's kind of great. And then every now and then I'll be like, no, it's great. That's why I love working with Evan. Because it's like,
There's no pressure.
Literally,
Yeah.
we'll either be both silent and just like doing our thing, or it'll be like, all right, Evan, so tell me, what's the recent conspiracy you've heard? But I feel like both of you are so good at literally like what Jetson said of like just giving facts, stating things that makes you ask questions. But I feel like neither of you are like, I don't know what a better word is besides like burdened by the information that you have.
Interesting.
So I'm curious how you take in so much information, know so many things, are, I think, skeptical to a degree, but never like allow it to, I don't know, like overcome you. Like neither of you are holed up in a room with aluminum foil all over the place. You know what I mean?
We're not preppers.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're not.
Well,
tinfoil
actually,
hat.
you've never seen them record their
they're
podcast
like,
before.
That
so.
you know. No, I'm kidding.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, because just to add on to that, like when we were talking earlier, I was like, we're in a specific time in history where we're exposed to so much information and so much like history and like controversial things happening all at once. And I think in a lot of ways we're demanded to have an opinion on something, an opinion before we even have like a fact or like a story or like something to like lean on. Like
We
a
are demanded
set-
to have an opinion.
like we're
before the
demanded
full
an
picture.
opinion before we're like to have any information to
Yeah,
give.
it's part of the tribalism. It's like
Yeah.
pick a side. Well, I want to know more about. I need to ask questions about your side. No. If you're asking questions about my side, then you're obviously an enemy. You should just blindly follow. Like that's so common.
Where does that come from, though?
Because I think it's like say I'm trying to get him to join my tribe, right? And I'm like, no, don't ask questions, just join. If you ask questions, you're whatever. It's like it's because I can't answer the question. Because if I can answer the question and actually give him a proper argument of like, oh, here's why my idea is correct, that's a discussion. That's a proper debate. Most people can't have that without either A, getting emotional, or B, they actually just don't know. And any scrutiny starts to break down their own belief systems, and then they get defensive, and then it just devolves.
I think that's like two parts. I'm answering it differently than him. I think there's a lack of discourse. People aren't able to do this anymore.
They don't know how.
At least back in school, we were taught how to do debate.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still teach that in school, but it doesn't seem like it because everyone just yells at each other. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying, then you must instantly fully disagree with everything I'm saying. And there's no attempt to try to convince them. It's just yell. And then secondly, going back to the question of how we take in information and not let it burden us, I think people aren't able, I think there's the mass majority of people aren't able to consume information and not like bring it into themselves instead of just seeing it as what it is. This is just information, and then shrugging it off. And I think it also comes down to how you live your life. Are you going to let what you're seeing on your little phone dictate how you live your life, or is your life just going to keep running without it? And I think most people can't just live life without. And I think that's a problem with technology, is that I think it moved so fast that people didn't didn't evolve with it to be able to just take that in and let it go. But instead everyone just takes it in and billows it down. And most people don't go out and talk with a lot of people about things.
It's true.
They sit in their room, they go on a Discord server or whatever, and they talk with people that are hive mind. And so I think that's.
And I mean, like, there's got to be some like media literacy coming into the education system, hopefully, because I think that would even help. It's like, how do you take in all this information? Because
Because there would have to be free media.
That's a whole other one. But it's also like you need
chips.
you need to have critical thinking as well. And a lot of people, unfortunately, because of the public schooling system, it's not designed to teach you critical thinking. It's just designed to give you information.
get the right answer
and you
for the
memorize it.
test.
Yeah.
Another thing sometimes is like, I feel like when it comes to information and world events, almost everything is framed as a moral question. That's why you're so quickly pressured to be like, and the thing is, it's like we believe in Christianity, we believe in good and evil to like a strong extent. So we think about morality often, but when everything we're presented with is a moral question, then there's more of an urgency to pick a side
And
really quick.
and it
Like it's not
really-
about information as much. It's more about like good and evil. Every topic has to be resolved to like good and evil sometimes.
And I feel like that's where emotionalism comes into,
Yeah,
though,
like-
right? Like it's like it
Like
feeds off
if
of
it's
it.
all like moral, then it's like you believe this evil, you believe this good, and like it makes it a bit messier, and it like encourages that like emotional attachment.
I think so many people don't have a faith. I don't think it's just Christians that have a good moral compass. I think there's other
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
that
of
can
course.
have a good moral compass, but so many people are not deistic. They don't believe in a God, that they just have these moral feelings and they have nothing to ground it on. So, I mean, yeah, like the whole Palestine issue, if you have to support this and this is good, is what people will say. But then someone could say on the opposite side, no, this is good because of this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, yeah, people are.
The
their
other
own
thing
gods.
is like with the whole morality of it is like if you think about it, it's just really good marketing because people are gonna latch onto things.
Talking.
Well, look at what headlines are supposed to do. They're just supposed to get you to click, or
Yeah.
back in the day, it's supposed to get you to buy the paper.
Yeah.
And the best way to get people to buy something, or one of the best ways, is emotions, like emotional manipulation, essentially. And that's what a lot of these morality questions do, is they bring people's emotional state into it. And so right from the get-go, you're almost like you're poisoning it from the start, where you're not even given a chance to look at something with just the facts. You have to immediately, or you either have to immediately pick a side based off of the morals, or they are telling you, these are the morals and you need to pick a side.
sensationalism.
Yes, exactly. So it's just good marketing, which I don't blame them for.
Yeah.
I think it's just as humans we're really susceptible to it.
Yeah. Josiah, break down like sensationalism. Like what is that really?
You're trying to get people, and that's what it's all turned into. And there's been such, I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, I think. I think at the root of it is the love of money, which, and I don't think just in the Christian scriptures, but in other scriptures it says how it's, and in other religions that it's not good. Whenever the root of all evil is the love of money, is what we believe in, and what it says in the Bible. And I think there is such a pursuit of more, and not an ability to be content, which I think is the biggest thing that people need to learn, to be content in life. That things just kept pushing. So journalism could not be journalism anymore because, your article's not getting clicked. So, okay, you rewrite it to X person stabbed this person, and then, that's going to trigger everyone's emotions and they're going to click on it. And that's what it just became. And yeah.
Well, and if you think about it, like I feel like maybe it's, maybe I just don't see it anymore, to be fair, but I feel like growing up, or like, mid to late 2010s, you would always have these news articles that would be like advertised on like different sites, or these headlines that would pop up, and you'd be like, oh wow, that's crazy. You click on it and it's just a nothing burger. Like there's no actual.
No, the headline was the most intriguing part of the whole article.
Yeah. You're like, wow, top 10. I watched a lot of those top 10 videos
Yes.
growing up. I would be like, top 10.
Top modes.
It's
or
something they
whatever.
still do that is not, this isn't a very serious thing I'm going to talk about, is these movie release articles. They're like, release date. And then you go and you read through 15 paragraphs and they're like, coming soon.
Yeah.
And there's no release date.
Or just trying to find like the like chicken casserole recipe, but they're like sharing
They
about.
tell you about their life story.
All the blog.
My Nona taught me
and-
this chicken casserole.
And
Let me
literally
tell you
all it
about
does is just make the page longer so you can fit more ads on it. Like that's it.
Of course.
It's
and keep people on the page
yes,
longer.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's
OG brain rot is those
those
recipe
articles,
blogs.
recipe blogs.
Brain rot for grandma.
83 lessons I learned in my summer abroad program when I was 16.
And it's
Also,
like,
here's a cookie.
yeah,
Rhubarb crisp.
yeah.
That's so
I think also
interesting.
going back up a few steps to the take in information but don't let it affect you is personally I used to let it when I first got interested in politics in like 14, 15. Like I was one of those people that was like, yes, I'm on a side. I believe my side is just morally right. The other side is evil, very black and white. But I also was just very emotional with my politics. And then I started, and I also love debating. I love having discussion. And I realized that those two, I realized those two don't mix. I can't be emotionally attached to an idea and then also debate it.
Can we just stop there for a hot second? Just let that marinate for people.
Can't be emotionally attached to an idea and then try and debate it. Because
Okay, why is that? Yeah.
okay, the perfect example is politics is always going to be the best example, but when people are like, oh, I'm going to have this debate, and then someone says, oh, well, they're not even willing to change their mind. They're not willing to change their mind because they're emotionally attached to the idea. So to change their mind is to actually like start to pick apart at their own interior. Whereas if I just have an idea that I'm not emotionally connected to, but it's just kind of on my brain desk, let's say, of these are the ideas that I kind of ascribe to and I think are correct. If someone brings another idea to my desk and says, oh, well, I think this idea might beat this idea. Well, I'm not emotionally attached to it, so I can immediately just go, oh, yeah, this is a better idea. Let me swap this out and get rid of the old one. But as soon as I'm emotionally connected to it, I'm like, oh, well, actually, I've stapled it to my desk and it's glued down. So it's actually going to be really messy if I try and take it apart and pull it off. So I'm just going to mental gymnastics my way into basically lying to myself and saying that my idea is still correct.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like when we believe something and we're like, it's deeper than emotions, because I believe what things we believe can be deeper than emotions, and we're able to debate it, we can like solidify why we believe what we believe.
Yeah.
And like the details can shift. But like the more you like take it from many angles and like be able to have those conversations with people, it actually like strengthens belief.
Yeah.
Because like we also have this ability as humans to connect dots in like all these different areas. So if you don't let yourself be like picked apart a bit without having like an emotional reaction, then your like ideas and beliefs are going to be really like shallow and like really flimsy.
And I think that's something, especially like as religious people, I think a lot of people who aren't religious will struggle with that idea because they'll see it as, oh, well, how can you have objective truth or facts that you're not emotionally tied to, but then believe in something that they don't think is real, right? Like those don't seem to work. But really the logic is, well, I've just had so much evidence and to outside of my emotional attachment to God, I've had so much other evidence and experiences and reading other people's experiences or directly hearing from them or whatever. I have had other data to back up this information. So
or the more emotional times or attachments. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you can have the both.
Sure, yeah.
Right? But I think if anything is built solely on the emotional experience, and like not to get into the whole deconstruction topic, but like that's why a lot of people are deconstructing because they never experienced anything outside of emotionalism.
Well, emotions are also really addicting.
They're so addicting.
Because if you
yeah.
I love a good cry.
I like a good rage actually, but that's fine.
Yeah, negative emotions are fun, aren't they?
They're so fun. Okay.
When you think about it, like if you have an emotional attachment to an idea, like just to expand upon this even more, and then if someone feeds into that emotion and goes, oh yeah, you're right in that, like they're wrong, you're right, you have the moral high ground or whatever, you're just flooded with dopamine of, oh, I am correct, I am right, and you just fester in that even more. And I think that's why like the dreaded term of identity politics, like that is what identity politics encapsulates.
Wow.
Is this just constant feeding of and reinforcing of an idea, whether the idea is correct or not is kind of irrelevant. It's just, I think it's an unhealthy way to explore ideas.
And outside of politics, you can convince yourself something is truth if you just keep telling yourself, keep telling yourself. I know there's studies all over the place that, you can just make a new pathway in your brain. And
Which is
then
crazy.
all of a sudden it's like, yeah, that is truth to you. And whatever anyone tells you is wrong.
Well, when you look
That's-
at pathological liars, like
You could hook them up to a lie detector and they do not think that they're lying.
they fully believe it, whatever lie that they have told, because their brain is like, oh, this
Okay.
is the reality that I've created.
Sorry, this might be so stupid, but because we're like, practicing asking
Discussion.
stupid questions,
Yeah.
is that how they tell? Like when you're hooked up to a lie detector test or whatever like they call it, like because you know that you're lying,
Oh, I have
and
no
that's how
idea.
they could tell.
Well, you can also cheat it. Like there's people that just can cheat it.
It monitors your vitals, and whenever you lie, if you think back to when you were a kid and you told your mom, no, I didn't eat that cookie, or whatever the situation was, your heart will skip a beat and you'll kind of your heart rate would
You have tells.
race. So you even if you had a poker face, your body's lying.
So if I'm a pathological liar, which I am not, to my knowledge, so if because I'm convinced I'm telling the truth, my body will have no sort of like reaction to it.
Yeah, and there's lots of secret agents, whatever, through history that are trained to work against that and work against their bodily urge to react. So you can
Should
work
probably learn
against
from
it.
that,
But
Well, because when you think about it, emotions or like the physical manifestation of emotion is basically just a signal. It's not for me, it's for you, right? In our interpersonal relationship of communication, I don't remember what the number is, but it's some like massive number, like 60-70% of communication isn't done verbally. It's done through body language, through
Yeah,
through
I
other
heard
things.
about
So
that actually.
of course, like if I'm being dishonest or honest or whatever, that is communicated in some way. That's why it's like, oh, like this person, they're coming across as kind of weird, or there's something about how they're acting that I don't like. It's because that communication is happening non-verbally, but you're still picking up on that because we know how to do that subconsciously.
So like in my head, I'm like, how do we like approach people in a way with that like almost like debate mentality, kind of like anti-tribalism, without just like being a jerk to them or like stressing people the heck out, like with like I know like how do we make baby steps into this for people's lives? Because I feel like we're raised in a generation of like sensationalism and media, and I'm hoping and praying it'll like balance itself out somehow, because I feel like we're so like newly and recently exposed to the overexposure of everything. And I'm like thinking like hopefully at some point we'll get like media training and this will become like a skill people build, and like but like how do you start that like with our relationships with the people like in front of us? Is it just like learning to have those conversations, learning to like being okay to look dumb, being like I don't know, or is it like certain questions? Just like I don't know if you guys have any tips.
I mean, the thing is like, it depends on the person, one. But I think generally it's like, okay, well, when I'm having a discussion, one, it's not an attack. But then also two, not only is it not an attack, but it's also not directed towards you. So I think it's really important, especially for people who are on the more emotional side when it comes to any topic or discussion, is like, make it very clear, I'm not talking about you or your identity, I'm talking about this,
The issue.
and I think that can be for anything from like relationships to a political idea to whatever opinions on some celebrity. It's like I'm
those can
not
get
trying
heated.
to break down your identity in this. I'm trying to pick apart the idea. So you have to really make that clear. For some people, like I am separating this.
Yeah, you gotta like make the distinction for them sometimes.
Mhm.
If-
Yeah.
yeah.
And stress it if you need to.
Which is fair. And get better at like actually being able to express without attacking.
Yes.
Because I think it's one thing to be like, oh, it's not against you, but like if I've only ever learned from a culture that preys on that emotional thing,
It's the
I could
classic
really
like
be like,
Clearly antagonistic.
yeah, exactly.
it's the no
It's not about-
offense.
no
but-
offense.
No offense,
but I'm gonna
but
say
yeah.
something
Yeah,
incredibly
exactly.
offensive.
exactly. we should just need to be aware of that too. Like I know I need to be aware of that. That's something that I've been working on.
Is it like more of the way you're doing it, not what you're doing?
I think because I could be like, Jetson, I don't mean this against like you, like don't take this personally, but I absolutely hate the clothes that you wear, and I think that you like, you know what I mean? But I'm not coming against you. I'm coming against style. Like no,
Yeah.
Coming against your vibe.
Yeah.
you don't pass my vibe check, Jetson. I think that's too just also being because it's. I don't know, communication's such a funny thing, right? Because yes, like you can't control how people hear you, but as communicators, and of course this obviously means more to us because we literally do this for, I would say a living, but for a passion.
It's definitely not our living.
For a very simple living. But like, we're also responsible how you communicate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's, I don't know. I think we'll just always want to defer the responsibility.
Yeah,
They
fair.
didn't get it, so like they just didn't understand it
true.
properly,
Yeah.
or they didn't tell me correctly. It's like no, like if we're
And another part is also like checking yourself, because it's one thing for the other person to get emotional or whatever. But if you're also getting emotional, or if you're also getting worked up about something, or on the flip side, if you don't have all the facts right and you're trying to convince them of something, like, well, then it's a two-way street, right?
yeah.
So at that point, you're not helping either by misleading them with wrong information, or being emotional, which just starts to feed in, just become this loop.
So I have another question, because you guys are obviously like healthy skeptics, I guess. I don't know if you guys have a term for yourselves. I don't know. Sorry, I can't put you in the box. But like, how do you like have like those eyes of like critical thinking, a little bit of healthy skepticism, but like take it off when you don't need it? Because I feel like this could so easily then become question. Yeah, I think we should question things. But then people like start questioning everything, or like then even in like relationships they're getting super skeptical, and it's like, where do you learn, or how do you learn, or how do you balance like taking those glasses off and being like, honestly, I don't need to like think super critically about the situation right now?
I don't
Or
know.
do you ever think that? I don't know.
I don't really think about that. I think there's just a difference between what's actually affecting my life and what's not affecting my life. And the relationships around me of people I know, not the person I pass on the street. Yeah, I don't need to think that heavily about it if I know and I trust and I know what the situation is. But whenever it's online, or if it's a bank, or if it's some institution that I have no connection with at all, I can be skeptical, because it's not, I don't know, it's not something
It's true. An institution can't love. So it's like,
Justin just wanted to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, filter it through your localized relationships, like real people, because like an institution,
This is
it's
where
not
I think tribalism isn't a bad thing, because I think we're made to live tribalistic. I think there's a reason why you can only like keep X amount of people in your head before it just starts deleting.
yeah.
And you can't contain all of that, because we're not meant to be friends with everyone in the world and all be one. Kumbaya. It's not going to happen. So,
You're
localize. and then
finite.
this is my life, and then what, isn't my life, be skeptical of, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. That helps. Sorry,
I was
we
like-
have to trademark.
Yeah, if you can't tell.
You have to really think more.
They're like City
Part
hasn't
of her
said anything.
hesitancy though, I'm like, does she want it?
No, I'm good.
Do I give it?
I mean, I asked my question earlier. I think it's just interesting to have this conversation, because I feel like, not to like lump the three of us into a category.
No, we're lumped.
But I was like, I feel like we just think differently than you guys, and I think that's the beauty of literally like, I don't know, having a tribe that's full of different minds. You know what I mean? Because that's, I think, building off of what you just said, Josiah, of like, we're meant to be in community, we're meant to be in tribes to a degree. Like, that's how I believe that we are made. But I think the beauty of it is like, as long as you're in a tribe with people who you love, but people who also like challenge you, you know, because to be in a tribe, like you said, in the Discord server with all the same people, all you're doing is just like literally burrowing yourself, and you're not
echo
allowing,
chamber.
like you're not allowing yourself to grow. And I think
would those people actually have your back? That's the difference between like actually having a community of people and being in a community of that are all shouting the same thing.
Wow.
But if something were to happen, because there's something that happened in in recent news, a big event, someone passed away, and there was someone that was involved, supposedly. And the group that he was in, instantly not his friend anymore, as soon as things happened, right? And you can, all the chats were kind of leaked, and it's just how quickly they would turn. So what is actually a community, and what is just people
I think
licking each other's wounds together?
it also comes back to the idea. I don't know. Identity is such a huge topic, but everything I feel like is so linked to your identity. But like if you are in a tribe and your identity is linked to a concept or an idea, and not necessarily like the foundation of love for people, and like knowing what real love looks like, 'cause it's like you can't, like, love isn't just I love you because we agree. Like I love you because we think exactly the same and we're like fighting for the exact same thing, but like love from a place of how Jesus loves. You know what I mean? Like to come back to it.
And also like I think I was going to say this earlier, but what you're saying ties into this perfectly is also like we like biblically we've been given a blueprint for what like healthy tribalism looks like. And that is like the church, right?
Yeah.
Of like everyone has there are different parts of the body, they all have a different role, but they all have a common goal.
Yeah.
But then within that you have from Paul's letters is we also need to be able to criticize and trade ideas and to discuss things, because no one person is going to have it all right. And also that's part of the beauty, I think, of maybe not tribalism, but of having a community, is a healthy one, to be clear, is you are able to all grow together and all able to, I guess, just break down ideas and belief systems. Like even just between us two, like I think we could probably have a handful of examples in the last 6 months of things that have happened politically that I remember when it first happened, we were like, oh, of this opinion and this.
Yeah.
And then, a few months down the line, we go, oh, actually, more information. Or, oh, actually, looking back, this actually didn't make sense. Or this was different. Or actually, this person maybe was wrong about this. Or actually, they were right. And there's a few examples that I can think of. But we're also very willing to go back to the whole ideas on the desk thing of like to trade out ideas and to not be attached to them, because like personally I feel like as soon as you start to emotionally attach yourself to political ideas or whatever it may be, like in a sense you kind of just weaken yourself. You're like shackling yourself to this idea that's going to just drag you down in the long run, and maybe make things harder, when you could just be very, maybe someone would say flip-floppy, but I would say just being flexible, right?
Yeah.
Of like, I'm able to evolve and change my ideas and grow in that and mature in that. Because there's stuff that I believed, last year or 5 years ago that whether it be politically or from a theology perspective or whatever, that looking back, I'm like, that was stupid. Or maybe that actually was a good idea, but it wasn't refined enough or whatever. So I think without a healthy community, tribalism can either be refining and helping each other grow, or it can just be unhealthy and just become an echo chamber where everyone has the same idea and you just become a thought clone. And then it's, you're one of those mindless bots that yells some idea or some thing.
Yeah. I love it.
That's true.
I was just thinking about like going back to what Jetson was saying about like anchoring in the local communities, like anchoring the conversation. Anchor sound. So
we've been joking that we should get like
a soundboard. A soundboard
like a
with
foghorn, like an anchor dropping.
I think it would really help with the transitions at the end of the episode of like, wow, that was a lot. Now we gotta bring it back, like rein it in.
It's like your cut.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Transition effect.
No, but I think like literally like what we were just chatting about, just to kind of like close it up, of having these conversations with people and like allowing yourself, I think first for me, like allowing myself to come into conversations with open hands, you know, like having a thought and idea, but not coming in with like a
Yeah.
fist, but like coming in with, okay, this is what I believe, like let's put it on the table. And it doesn't have to be super intense and super deep. It can be whatever, but allowing ourselves first to come with that mindset, and then hopefully with a place of love to then challenge
Yeah.
people.
And a lot of it also is humility, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like pride is just so destructive when it comes to relationships. Of like, that's another part of the whole emotional thing, right? Is coming to a conversation with, oh, I'm correct,
Yeah.
and you just sit on that.
Yeah.
And this is why, not to go into this can of worms, but the whole experts thing can be really risky, we'll say, because experts and people who, or even maybe they're not experts or they claim to be an expert or whatever, they can fall to this logical fallacy of appeal to authority.
Whoa, that's a
If you know what that is.
That's a crazy term.
But
Someone look it up.
but it's basically appeal to authority is a logical fallacy, which basically is I'm the expert of something, so my opinion is immediately correct, which logically doesn't make sense because
Yeah.
you could be wrong and you maybe are wrong about something, but oh no, you should listen to me because I'm
An expert.
the expert, right?
Crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, it's like the trump card.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just pride, I think, where you're just saying, oh, I'm, able to write this paper, or I have this PhD, or I have this, often politically, I have this, this title before my name, which means I'm an expert on this thing, when actually I don't know anything about it. And when I get questioned about it, I don't know anything. And that happens a lot in politics, where people become heads or directors of something, and then they don't even know what it is.
They're
like, yeah, actually, I just-
until they
If you
made
want a
it.
great example, go to the hearing that Zuckerberg had with the senators.
Yes.
When they're asking him
Yes.
about technology. And
I feel like I've seen so many like
Holy
just
cow.
clips from that. And it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
senators and technology is a big one.
Yeah.
Constantly. Because it's just, well, I mean, think about it. It's these guys who are 60, 70, and they're like, what's an AI? What's a robot? Like, bro, just
Poor Mark.
Yeah, and he's like, how do I what?
like my favorite one is the what is it? It's like the senator that keeps asking the one dude about his affiliations to China.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm not
Oh.
Chinese. I'm
He's
from
from
Hong Kong. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
At
he's
least
like,
they were willing to ask.
yes.
TikTok. It was the TikTok owner.
It was a TikTok. Yeah, that's what it was.
He's like, so you're Chinese? He's like, no, Senator.
do you have citizenship in China?
No.
No. I'm a Hong Kong citizen.
But that's the thing, is we all just bend the knee to titles and to, this person spent thousands and thousands of dollars getting this paper on their wall. They must know everything. So, yeah, I mean, when I brought up Egypt in the beginning, they're finding all these archaeological finds, which actually some of them have been found 80 years ago, but it was already had the lid put on it. And now it's coming up again because of how information works. We all can see it.
Because like specifically for Egypt, there's only a few guys that kind of control everything. They're the experts. And they've written all the textbooks. They've got out, like they monopolize this. So if new information comes out,
Gotta rewrite.
got to rewrite. And they got to accept that they're wrong, actually. Because they've said, oh, this is the facts.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's been multiple things that they've covered up or worked with the Egyptian government to not be allowed to expand upon.
Even though it would boost tourism, I would go.
some interesting things.
Massive metallic Tic Tac shape in the catacombs, I'd go there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like this is the perfect. That was your little teaser of an episode of Objectified.
Literally. That's what you can go to hear
Not
more
wrong.
of.
Yeah, no, it's true. The thing I really do appreciate about this, though, is that one, you guys are our friends, first and foremost, before any of us had a podcast. But two, I really feel like
Fame didn't make us.
fame didn't make
The
money
industry
didn't
bring us
change them.
together.
the industry. You say money didn't change us? Yeah.
We're not coworkers.
There's no money.
I don't know. I'd need to try it first.
Yeah, at least,
If
at
anybody's
least
got
give
a-
him some to see
Yeah.
if it changes
Yeah, I
it.
want to see.
Can you imagine? That's so funny. But it's true. And, like, I really believe that the whole, like, you don't have to agree with us to be friends with us.
Yeah.
It's very well exemplified in this room, these two sofas.
Yeah, I don't agree with them.
Sometimes
No,
I know.
just kidding.
No, actually, me and Courtney have some great discussions where she'll go, I think you're wrong. And I'll go, no.
That's true. And then we're like yelling at each other, but like but we both enjoy it.
Out of
but
respect.
then we
Is there an example?
remember, we go,
Yeah,
oh,
we were at the pub.
We're out in a pub in a table full of our friends who are all just staring at us
As we're like,
as we're going at it.
yeah, what were we even talking about?
If you win, if you are associated with the Grammys, are you
Oh,
automatically?
yeah. In the club, yeah.
Which we're not doing today.
We're not talking about that.
No, we're not talking
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that. Sometimes we literally just don't agree.
Yeah,
But then we went on to finish the pub quiz together, Evan. It
and
was
we still
beautiful.
came last.
You
Still
lost.
came last. I never redeemed my free drink from that, by the way.
Hey,
But
could-
you lost together, and that's all that matters.
That's what.
But
And
also,
that's friendship
but
always
if
wins.
we've learned anything, it's important to disagree.
Yeah, it's true.
Because, at least for me, I will say, one of my personal flaws is I'm an extremist in the sense of I will go all out for an idea.
Yeah.
If I'm like, oh, this is looking really good in my idea, I'll go all out for it.
Yeah.
So it's really good for me to have people around me that go, well, let's push back on that a bit. And then I'll go, oh, yeah, okay, wait, yeah, let me backpedal a couple steps. And like, he does that all the time. And he'll be
You
like,
got some ridiculous thoughts that you've got in our text.
guys,
Absolutely crazy.
the earth is flat, guys.
and on that
I'm
note,
kidding.
No, I think we're done.
cut the cameras.
Can you imagine? No, but honestly, guys, it's actually been so great that you guys are here
Yeah.
and that we get to talk about this because, yeah, I think we take for granted so much just what a healthy relationship looks like.
Yeah,
And it's always just fun to hear what you guys are
thinking,
thinking.
talking about,
What we got brewing?
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I wasn't sure if that was weird.
brewing. I feel like we need like a vocab, like what's it called?
Glossary?
A glossary in the captions of just like all the words you said. Sensationalism. What was
Identity politics?
Thanks to AI,
Yeah.
everyone's losing the ability to use these big
Oh, that's a whole other
multi-syllable
Don't even get me
words.
started on AI, Josiah. That's next week's
Okay,
episode.
yeah, but ChatGPT helps with my job so much.
I have so many thoughts,
Courtney.
but we can't go
Is
there.
it helping or is it making you worse at your job so that you're more reliant on it?
No,
Are you
it's
more
definitely
easily
helping.
replaceable?
Yeah, you know what? I've actually. No, I don't think this is too exposing. You know how many policies I have to write that I don't understand, but I'm just the one that has to do it?
I would just take those from other companies and then just change the names.
Not legal advice.
But, like, isn't that like.
Legal advice.
That's a great disclaimer.
I would not do that.
And, like, we would not do
This company hasn't been sued. We're a lot smaller than that.
They might also just have a lot of money to pay off the case.
that. The more I learn, the more I think it's this, actually.
And their lawyers might be really good.
Okay, and this company, no. Because they're best friends with the U.S. government, so they're not going to get sued.
Pharmaceutical industry.
No.
Anyway, hopefully, guys, that's enough to either make you turn off this podcast or go look up more episodes of Objectified. But,
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I was gonna keep going and I shouldn't. So continue.
oh, I was like,
Continue
yeah,
your
I was
closing.
doing like the close.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool. Well, guys, obviously you have a podcast. We're gonna link everything in the show notes so people can find your podcast.
It's on hiatus right now.
It's on hiatus. It's
We're
okay.
we've wrapped up season 1. We're on the
The break.
break.
Precipice.
Yeah, of
Yeah, the
season
precipice.
2.
That's great. We've
Another
taken
word
like
to add to the
12
glossary.
hiatuses, I think, since the beginning of the Anchor of the Week. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
Hey, life happens.
Life does
It
happen.
does.
You know.
And we're not monetizing, so who cares?
Yeah,
right?
exactly. If any sponsors want us, that's it.
If you do, don't
If
do
you
anything
want
about
us-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, like,
we could have a more consistent schedule if you want. Let me know. Hit me up.
this is true.
Okay. So I know I said a bunch of close. Who's your ideal sponsor for your podcast?
Baloo.
So, no.
I'm actually curious because we haven't talked about this, so I'm actually curious.
All right, satirical answer for something that, like, if I want money.
Yeah.
If we want money,
Like, yeah.
I would go a pharmaceutical mogul.
Yeah, which is so, like-
you know, and just push
Johnson & Johnson.
push whatever drug.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're
or
like-
big ones right now are VPN companies. So much money.
Smart.
They're dishing out these ads everywhere.
Nord.
Nord's actually stepped back. ExpressVPN's pretty big, but they also just got sold.
Wow.
I've never ever dabbled with anything VPN.
That
Uh,
means you're not a
sorry.
pirate. or
Yeah, I mean,
you're not doing anything illegal.
but I think someone like who I'd actually want is probably like a good supplement company.
That would
There's,
be more in line with what we talked about.
Pure Encapsulations is a U.S. one, and they do a lot of good supplements. So I'd be interested in that, or like a red light therapy company.
Well, hey, if anyone,
If they listen to this
Yeah.
podcast.
this is your
On the
hit 'em up.
options.
Or a furniture company.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good shout.
Oh, we should get a furniture company and then think about our set.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
True.
And you
Yeah.
can call it the company name set.
Yeah.
And then every episode, hey guys, we're
Welcome.
back on the blank set.
Fairs.
Okay, well, not IKEA, but like literally anything else.
Anything.
If you
Honestly, IKEA would be
Nebraska
pretty good.
Furniture Company.
You can
I
pay
would
me in
do
meatballs.
IKEA.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe IKEA. I don't know.
What about you, Evan? Sponsors.
Energy drink.
No, I'm actually clean of energy drinks for like, I want to say like 2 or 3 months.
So proud of you.
Yeah. I used to be an addict, guys. But
He's off it.
Dodgy ingredients.
yeah. But I would definitely do a beverage company. I'm a big beverage fan.
You're a beverage boy.
Yeah.
A bevy boy.
I'm a bevy boy. No, I don't think I'd do alcohol. Ooh, no, if I did do alcohol, I would do like something fun. Like
Mike's Hard Lemonade.
yeah. There we go. Yeah.
I've been in the White Claws.
No, actually I
guys,
don't love
welcome
White
back to
Claws.
Objectified.
Oh, the moth
Let's-
moth
Ooh, those are so
G&Gs.
good.
Cans.
Those are
Yeah.
so good. That's a good shout.
Sponsor us all,
Yeah,
actually,
actually.
Ma. Thank you so much.
or I would do like
I don't drink alcohol though. It have to be something that has non-alcohol.
okay.
Too.
They might.
No, not good. I would do athletic beer.
I think as
Or
a
Biro.
joking answer that I would actually never take, I would want like some like big tech company like Tesla.
Nvidia.
Oh, Nvidia, yeah.
You drive our market.
I don't even know what Nvidia
We're all
is.
just like,
The AI bubble and the crypto bubble is all propped up by Nvidia.
wow.
Yeah.
They're the only real like. Technically, they're the only company that's still growing profit. Everything else is just riding its wave.
Wow.
Interesting.
They're what's the number on their like the percentage of the American economy or GDP that's because of them?
60 to 80, I think.
Yeah, it's
60 to 80%.
insane.
Wow.
Like if the stocks of that company crash, the American economy.
Done for.
Well, to be fair, it is down right now. Google is
Yes.
taking its spot,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ironically.
But like I mean,
Constant, yeah.
if it crashes, crashes. If the
Constant
bubble
race.
bursts,
Crazy.
then it's Jover.
Burst the bubble.
Or League of Legends. They could.
He
sponsor
would
me.
be the only one.
I want you to know, once I tried so hard to bond with Evan that I got him to explain the tournament to me. And we watched a
Yeah.
little bit of it together. Do you remember?
No.
Because you know how like they have like their thing
Yeah.
and like all the different players.
The World
different people.
Championship?
It was a world championship.
Yeah.
I tried really hard.
Where was this?
We were at Think.
I love that.
Well, clearly it did not stand out in your memory. So
Well, 'cause it's just
Well-
league to him, mate.
Yeah, it's just another match. How many hockey games have you showed to people? Come on.
I'm pretty confident they'd all remember.
No. In this example, you would be the one that remembers.
I know, right? I'm like,
See, this is more like Objectified.
It just took us 40 minutes to get into the group.
I think we're a little past 40 minutes.
No way.
Maybe.
Time
We're-
flies when you're.
Anyway, all of that being said, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. I feel like we could keep going forever.
We will.
But know that there's so many ways that you guys, I'm pointing to the cameras now, can stay connected to us at the Anchor of the Week and, of course, with Objectified. So give us a follow, give us a shout, a like, all the socials, you know them.
Put in the comments if you want us back.
Honestly, yeah. Comment.
We're going to
comment
set up
whatever
a
you
fax
want.
address.
Or if you don't,
A P.O. box?
or if you don't want them back, put it in the comments as well.
Yeah. No.
We'll tally
There's a
them
couple
up.
episodes.
Actually, yeah.
There's a couple episodes where we did the whole like leave a comment, and we were like, yeah, and if you disagree with us, put a comment. We're like,
We always used to say that. No
We
one ever
did.
did. Well, maybe like one person in the past like 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to look at the comments.
yeah,
Hey,
I run
let's keep it
all
that
the all the posting of everything. So
Anyway, thank
Take
you
us home,
guys.
Sadie.
Thank you guys so much for watching. And stay tuned for next episode because we'll see you next time.
bye.
You don't have to agree with us to be friends with us. Anchor of the week.